And this is the insider trading and ownership of Zomedica. And as you can see, the insider ownership is high investors. This is a video update on Zomedica stock because some brilliant news has recently come out on this company, but some investors did not take it very well. And so we're going to look at everything you must know about this company if you are considering buying or selling Zomedica stock. And I've bought and recommended a lot of stocks on this channel, and to all my subscribers who bought in with me, our public portfolio is up 32% and it has held very well during the stock market crash. So well done to us. By the way, if you want to look at my full portfolio or if you want to know when I buy and sell my stocks, just join my free Discord group and it's the first link in the description below. And yes, it is totally free and just a nice place to chat. And this is the one piece of news that caused the big fuss. Zomedica announces the first commercial sale of its truforma platform. And all this fuss came from the sale of one truforma platform. But guys, let's keep it together. This is what a company does. They're simply trying to make as much revenues as possible. And that's the target of any company on this planet. And by the way, if any news comes out on Zomedica stock, I will make a video update because I'm an investor of this company and so that you're always up to date. And so the news on its own is very positive because the revenue projections of these companies are very bullish too. By the way, let's have a look at it now. And this is the report that came out in June 2020. And the most important part here are the revenues, the top line. And in 2021, the company is expected to make 7 million in sales. And this is very important. I really want you to focus on it because the company needs to start making revenues as soon as possible. But this report that most people have missed has got even more news that you absolutely need to know, and so pay attention because really it's gonna be massive. And again, the revenues in 2022 will be 20 million and in 2023 60 million. But what's really the kicker here, what's really the biggest thing you need to take away is the margin of the gross profit, and it's around 50%. And with a crazy good margin as this one, what we really have to cover with the revenues are the operating expenses, which should stay pretty stable up to 2023. And if everything plays out as in these projections, the company will have a margin of 9%, and that will be after the cost, for a net profit of 5 million. And all of this would be in 2023. And also this projection is the same you can find on Simply Wall Street, the company being profitable in 2023. And so you understand how important it is for the company to make revenues. And I wouldn't say in any way that this is bad news. I just cannot believe it. And just another piece of news, the cash flow will become positive in 2023 as well. And the cash is very important because the company will have to dilute the stock and probably raise more debt as we get closer to 2023. And if you want to have a look at the whole report, I will link it in the description below, and it's gonna be the second link. And when you are in the description, just make sure to grab your free share if you live in the UK from FREETRADE, and it's gonna be valued up to £200. And so the question becomes, are we gonna get there to 2023? Are we gonna get profitable? What are the insiders thinking? Because they are in the company, right? And this is the insider trading and ownership of Zomedica. And as you can see, the insider ownership is 70%, guys. 70%. And if you base it on the float, it's actually even higher, 92%. And here is the important bit, the takeaway. There's been no significant selling from the insiders for the last 2 years. The only trade that was reported in the last 2 years was the sale of 6,400 shares at the price of $1.10. And that accounts for a whopping $7,000. So like I said, not really significant. And guys, insider selling and buying is done through the filing of an SEC form called Form 4. And this is something you're gonna take away from this video and apply to any stock you have in your portfolio. The SEC Form 4 is due by the end of the second business day after after the transaction. And so in a nutshell, the data that I showed you are the absolute most up-to-date data you can possibly see. And that means that insiders are really believing in this company because they know that at this time is actually the absolute best time ever because the company is getting traction and finally selling the product after 2 years of development. And so the question becomes, is it now a good time to buy or sell Zomedica stock? And this is the Zomedica chart, and as you can see, there is a strong support at around $2. And we also saw another strong resistance at around $2.57. And so there is a good 20% upside before we hit resistance, just for your information. We also have the 20 days simple moving average as a support because we broke above a couple of days ago. And the same applies to the other moving averages, the 200 and the 100 days. And in terms of RSI, we are not in a bad place either because as you can see, it's not overbought or oversold. We are bang in the middle more or less. And so in a nutshell, is it a good time to sell now or not? I think the company is not a sell at all. Instead, it's in a very good place because it has actually started just selling, which is the best news that can possibly come through. And if you sell now, it means that you never believed in this company to start with. And if any news comes out on Zomedica, I will make video updates so that you're always up to date, and also because I'm an investor in this company. Another positive sign is that the insiders really believe in this company and are not letting go of their shares. But you could argue that their price average is actually very low in comparison to what we pay these days. And if you're thinking of buy, then what I would do, and I'm not a financial advisor, I would suggest to dollar cost average in. And that means to buy a bit and maybe buy a little bit in a few days and so on. But even if you decide to buy, remember that this is a very speculative play because the company has just started selling. So we can basically say that this has turned from a pre-revenue play into a pre-earnings play. So that means that the company hasn't made any profit yet, but it's getting there. As we said, it's 2023 that we have to look at. But because it's a very risky play, I wouldn't allocate more than 5% of your portfolio to it. So be careful. And if you want to know when I buy and sell my stocks or just have a look at my portfolio, just join my free Discord group and it's the first link in the description below. And yes, it is totally free and just a nice place to chat. And if you want another speculative play, how about Gevo? The video on the screen right now are the latest news on Gevo stock. So click on the video.